Hello everyone, my name is Wesley Muller, and today I'm bringing you another video. This is going to be a shorter one, but it's a rough introduction to concrete construction that we see in the heavy civil industry. Please feel free to take any notes, and any questions that you may have, please email them to me directly, and I'd be more than happy to answer them. And you can email them to the email you see on the screen. This, along with the rest of the videos, will be uploaded to YouTube for public use, so feel free to utilize those at your convenience. So first, for concrete construction, we're going to get into some of the equipment we're going to see, right, on a typical crew. I know we've discussed backhoes before, so I'm not going to go into detail, but it's very common to see backhoes on a crew. This is because on the front of the backhoe, the front bucket, you can easily and quickly transport material around the site, forming material, rock, base rock material, etc. And then on the rear, it's easy to dig footings and lay material down with the bucket and the outriggers. Now the next category of equipment that you'll see on any concrete job would be the trucks themselves, right? So most commonly, you've probably seen a concrete truck somewhere on the highway, and that's the truck you see on your left. These are very common. Basically, they get material that's already mixed at a plant. They keep it circulating, and they pour it out, which is what's called in the industry tailgating concrete, which basically spits out concrete from the chute you see on the back. Now the second type of truck isn't as common, and that's the volumetric truck. They're typically a little more expensive, but the advantage you get with a volumetric truck is that you can mix the material upon arrival. So if your travel time is super far away, or maybe your job's in the mountains somewhere where there's not a convenient concrete plant nearby, you can utilize these trucks, and they'll mix the concrete on site with aggregates and additives that they have on board their trucks. Now the third type is the boom pump, the concrete boom pump. Now it should be noted that this truck is not used for transporting concrete. It's used for placing concrete. So the idea is you can pick any of these two trucks here, the left one or the one in the middle, and dump into what's called the hopper of this concrete boom pump. And then essentially it's going to pump that concrete through the boom wherever you need it. And it's very convenient when you're dealing with jobs with tight parameters, maybe slopes or areas that are not suitable for trucks to travel down or travel near. This boom pumps will do the trick. Our final category of equipment, I don't have much footage of this, so we're not going to get into it, but it's concrete paving. But I did want to allude. So on the left, you can see what's a Gameco, a GP 2400 concrete paver. As you can see here, it appears they're doing CRCP, which is continuously reinforced concrete pavement, or JPCP, which is joint plane concrete pavement. Essentially, you pour out concrete material in front of the paver, and it's going to form it up as it goes and place it in a nice mat in a single lift. And then the piece of equipment in the middle is the finishing machine that would follow a concrete paver, and that's going to smooth and finish your road surface, and sometimes add cure as well. Now finally on the right, you have your conveyor, your concrete conveyor. These are really important when you're doing, especially when you're doing continuously reinforced concrete pavement, CRCP, because you have rebar mat essentially extending the entire duration of your pass that you're making with your paver. So you can't back up trucks in front of it because they can't drive on the rebar. So your trucks need to come alongside and dump into this concrete conveyor, which then in turn moves the concrete in front of the paver where it needs to be. Now we talked about the equipment. Let's get into the crew roughly. Just like in the other videos, you're going to have operators, laborers, and foremen. On a concrete crew, operators are guys running the concrete pavers, the backhoes, any of the finishing machines, or conveyor belts. As far as laborers go, laborers are probably going to make up 75% of a concrete crew on a given day. These are the guys finishing with hand tools, forming up concrete, stripping concrete forms. They're doing most of the work. And then you got the foreman who's managing and overseeing the entire activity, as well as coordinating with office management and superintendent staff. Now finally, we're going to go over just a few pictures and clips I've got. This first picture you're seeing on your screen is an inlet structure. You can see the two pipes coming in the center of this, what appears to be a future wall. Basically, this massive wall has a rebar cage. You can see the formwork up on the far side, but they're building this cage, and then they're going to put formwork up on the other and basically place an entire concrete wall, and then once it cures, they're going to strip it of its forms. And I'll show you what that looks like here coming up. So as you can see here, the wall is completed. The rebar was placed. The remaining formwork was placed. They poured it with a concrete boom that you see there, and then they stripped the formwork off, and the wall is what's remaining. In this particular picture, they're working on a separate area of this project. So let's see here. Okay. Next, I did want to just use this as a quick reminder. If you are dealing with any sort of sidewalk or concrete pavement, typically if you're joining it together with the existing pavement or with future pavement, you have to place what are called dowels. And dowels are basically sticks of rebar that stick out from the side, as you can see in front of you. This connects the two pieces of concrete, the existing and the future, that you place with rebar to absorb some of that stress and tension. All right, this is something that you'd be more likely to see on a job site. This particular labor is finishing a concrete DI or drain inlet that they just poured to match up to existing curb, as you can see. In this next picture, you can see they had to place what's called shoring inside, and that keeps the concrete contained, and so it doesn't fall in on itself, essentially, and it can maintain its shape. And this is what the finished product looks like. This is a completed DI or drain inlet out here in Madera, California, in this particular instance. All right, guys, thanks for watching this brief and rough introduction to concrete construction. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, or subscribe, and then email any questions you may have directly to me, and I'd be more than happy to answer. Thank you.